Friends, countrymen, Romans, lend me your ears. This was my introduction to Toastmasters. When my daughter did the youth leadership program, she would have the family as her audience and practice her speech. While I watched her, I used to wonder, when will I give a speech like this? My dream comes true today. Here I am standing in front of you. Madam President, fellow Toastmasters, esteemed guests, my name is Padmaja and here is my story. I hail from a state called Karnataka in the southern part of India, which Ramesh calls the land of sandalwood. I was born in Hidkal Dam. Oh no, I was not born on the dam. My father was a civil engineer. Every 3 to 4 years, he used to get transferred to a place where new dams were built for the major rivers in the state. The employee quarters where we stayed were usually a couple of miles away from the main town, closer to the dam construction site. They were a township on their own, so the main dam attached. That is why I was not born in Hidkal, not on the dam, but Hidkal Dam. We kids, when we started school, my parents decided to discontinue their nomadic life and moved base to the beautiful city of Bangalore. That is where I completed most of my education. I got my bachelor's degree in instrumentation engineering and started working as a production engineer in a company. It was the dot-com boom time here in the US at that time. My then fiance, Murali, was a software engineer. He was hired by a company in Silicon Valley, California. But the elders in the house, they wouldn't let him go all on his own to an alien country. What if he married an American? Then they decided he would get married and then go. I got married and moved to California with my husband. In the early years of my life here in the US, I was a homemaker. During that time, my daughter Sparsha was born. When Sparsha was 3, we moved, Murali took a job in Tampa. We moved from one Bay Area to the other. At that time, I was planning to go back to work. I had been away from the job market for a long time. So I opted for higher education. I did my master's in biomedical engineering at USF. By the time I graduated, our family had expanded. Guess what? My son, Samarth, was the new addition in the family. My intention was to stay with my family, stay with my children when they were young, and not opt for daycare. So I worked as a substitute teacher in Pasco County School District. They were the good audience. So that I had the flexibility to work at the same time care for him. When Samarth was old enough not to fall on his face, I looked for a job in my field. 3 years ago, I joined James A. Haley Research Center as a biomedical engineer. Spare time is a rarity for me with my 3 children, Sparsha, Samarth, and my husband Murali. But when I do find time, I James Bond or Marvel superheroes. Uh, I like watching animated movies with my children. I am a trained Indian classical music singer. I enjoy Indian music, in general, all music. I like to read books, and I also like to travel. My story is incomplete without the mention of my dad, who was a marvelous storyteller. His stories were very powerful. People who listened to his stories always wanted to come back and listen to many more. He had an amazing command over the language. He is the greatest storyteller I've ever known. He used to weave beautiful stories, all based on his own experiences in life. It's my dream to be a storyteller like him someday. At Toastmasters, I hope I acquire those skills.